Hello everyone. With you channel interesting. The USA is not the largest country in the world, but the most famous. That's for sure. She is the only superpower on the planet. Has colossal political influence, military and economic superiority. Americans have 40% of the world's personal wealth, and their national debt is estimated at $2 trillion. In this issue, we present some of the most interesting facts about the United States. The minimum temperature recorded in the states, excluding Alaska, was recorded in Montana in January 1954, minus 57 degrees centigrade. The maximum mark to which the thermometer rose is plus 56 degrees centigrade, California, June 1913. Of all the states, Alaska can boast of the maximum length of the coastline, more than 10,000 kilometers. The only pity is that the local climate is absolutely not conducive to beach fun. About 800 devastating tornadoes hit the United States every year. There is no official language in the country. The design of the country's modern flag was invented by a 17-year-old teenager. The drawing was his school homework, for which, by the way, he got an A. More Chinese people live and work in New York's Chinatown than anywhere else in the West. The first U.S. university was Harvard, founded in 1636. Everyone has heard about funny American laws. Arizona will be fined for putting a donkey to sleep in the bathroom. And in Alabama there is a strict ban on putting ice cream in your pocket. The military in America cannot use national flags made in China. Traces of cocaine are found on 90% of American bills. Some of the banknotes were used to inhale the powder, the other part was obtained in the course of drug deals. About 100 married couples break up every hour in the United States. Americans are workaholics. Many come to work by 6 a.m. and do not feel discomfort leaving the office closer to midnight. Today, about 10% of American citizens do not work anywhere and do not even try to find a job. And this is understandable. Unemployment benefits are approximately equal to the minimum salary. The accumulation of 1% of the country's richest residents exceeds the general wealth of 90% of the U.S. population. Every seventh American has 10 or more credit cards. America's external debt is about $19 trillion, and it is constantly growing. The country consumes a quarter of the world's oil reserves annually. More than 60% of Americans cannot find Iraq on the world map. The situation with Afghanistan is even worse. Where this country is located, 9 out of 10 residents of the states do not know. About 10% of Americans are sure that the Earth does not revolve around the sun, but exactly the opposite. Every 7 American married couple meets on the internet dating site. Only 51% of the U.S. population is legally married. In this regard, about 40% of children are born out of wedlock. About 40% of the population does not believe Darwin's theory. Americans have the right to get a driver's license from the age of 16, vote and have a personal weapon from the age of 18, but to buy alcohol. In America, there are almost 5,000 people whose first and last name are identical, for example, Thomas. What is called snitching and denunciation in Belarus and throughout Europe is considered vigilance in America. More than 70% of Americans are believers and attend church. But this does not prevent them from simultaneously believing in ghosts, witches, and reincarnation. Over 60% of women and men are obese. Not surprisingly, Americans consume about 150 million hot dogs every day and eat more ice cream than any other nation. The average American resident spends up to 90% of his work and free time indoors. The Pentagon is not only an architecturally original building, it is also the largest administrative building in the world. Fans of extreme sensations should stop by Ohio, where the amusement park with the highest roller coaster is located. In the States, there is a monument of four corners, which is installed in a unique place at the intersection of four American states at once: Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. The US dollar is one of the world's major reserve currencies. Trailers and mobile homes are home to 20 million US citizens. They cannot buy anything else. Real estate prices are very high. McDonald's is a popular place in every way, with 1 in 8 Americans working there. The United States has the longest road network on the planet, 6.5 million kilometers. The most deserted freeway is Route 50, Utah, California. It leads through the desert, where there is only one settlement at a distance of 200-300 kilometers. A car is a vital necessity for every American. In the state of Nevada, there is Area 51, a legendary classified object of unknown purpose, which has repeatedly inspired filmmakers to create stories for science fiction and horror films. One of the symbols of New York is yellow taxis. Their number exceeds 11,000 vehicles. The Washington Library of Congress is the world's largest collection of books, with over 90 million different book and magazine titles. Fort Knox is the most heavily guarded building in the world. It contains most of the country's gold reserves. The United States is the only developed country in the world that does not provide its citizens with free medical care. In the United States, there is no centralized control over school education. There are no requirements for teacher qualifications, no teaching standards, and no approved teaching materials.